Majority of women want to be led. Majority of women want to be guided. Majority of women want to submit, and it is your duty to submit. I cannot stand when I hear the statement, I want to submit, but he doesn't this. If he doesn't that, bro, what? It would be a crazy world if men would say, oh my gosh, I want to lead. I want to pay the bills. I want to make sure there's food in the fridge. I want to make sure that utilities are all on and working, but my wife won't let me. What? You sound like an idiot if you're a man.
So do marriages fail when the wife is the alpha? And why do I ask this question for you? Because this last weekend, we're at the Vault Conference. Nearly 6,000 people in the room. The Rock is there. We're having a great time. People showing up from 100 plus countries. It's an incredible event. And at one moment, I won't show the video. I won't even talk about who the person is. But everybody has the ability to grab the mic and talk about if they had a breakthrough. A lady gets up there and she says, you know, we talk about all this stuff, but I want my husband to have a breakthrough because I'm tired of being the breadwinner. I'm tired. I want him to make more money. I want him to do this. And I've always been providing and I've been working and I've been doing this. And we're all listening to this and we're like, whoa, very uncomfortable, because I thought for a fact her husband's not going to be in the room. I said, but are you here with your husband? I am. I said, does your husband have your permission to speak? Everybody kind of looks at her. And I said, here's all I'll say. I'll give you 5 seconds, sir. I don't know who he is because I don't know where he's sitting. And she kind of looks to her left, but I don't know where it's sitting because they're pointing. I said, I'll give you 5 seconds if you want to speak. If not, I'm going to move on because I don't want to put you on the spotlight. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He doesn't stand up. I said, no problem. Marriage is hard. It's not easy. Do your thing. We'll move on. And the next, topic of discussion, I said, if you guys want to open up the next day and talk about it, we'll be here. If you don't, totally get it as well. Next day, they don't come to the mic. Everybody was waiting for it. Everybody knew. Nothing happens. We continue. So then the conversation starts. Well, we're going to dinner. Does it work? Does it not work? I don't know. This is not about this. It's not about what's wrong with that. What's wrong if the woman's the alpha and all this other stuff? Look, I got a bunch of different data for you. 70% of divorces are initiated by the wife. I got some data and I got some points on if it's a good idea or not. And at the end of the day, if you agree with me, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you don't agree with me, comment below and let us know how you feel. All right, so let me show you some data here from 1972 till 2022. Husbands being the main breadwinner, wives being the main breadwinner, and egalitarian, which means the husband and the wife make 40 to 60% of the household income together. And if those statistics have gone up, have gone down, what it looks like. So
oh, this is going to be interesting. Let's see what he got.
here's what it looks like. The black are husband's primary or sole breadwinner, okay? Pink is egalitarian, they both make money. Yellow is wife as the primary or sole breadwinner of the household. In 1972, 85% of husbands were the primary breadwinner. In 1972, egalitarian was only 11% husband and wives, and wives were only 5%. Remember, this was only 52 years ago. Fast forward to today, husbands dropped 30% from 85% to 55%. They lost 30%. That's a lot right there, right? Egalitarian went from 11% to 29%. That means a third of marriages, both the husband and the wife makes the same amount of money, but the wives went from 5% to 18%, nearly 4x, making more money than the husbands do as the main bread.
God. Did y'all hear that? Oh my God. I'm sorry if I sound like this, y'all. I'm a little sick, but, I had to drop this video for y'all. So make sure you give a like to this video right now. Comment below what you think so far. And, I had to stop and get my ginger ale. Quick side note, I am a recovering ginger ale addicted young mate. And clearly, the rehabilitation didn't work. So, whatever.
The main breadwinner. Somebody may say, what's wrong with that? We want equality. We want this. We want that. Now, according to Forbes Advisor, these are the reasons why people get married and also different reasons why people get divorced. Marriage, number one. Financial security, 42%. Then it's companionship. Then love, formal act of making a commitment to start a family, convenience, medical insurance, legal reasons, societal or family pressures. Now, these are the reasons and factors why there's a divorce. Lack of family support, infidelity, lack of compatibility, lack of intimacy, too much conflict or arguing, financial stress, lack of commitment, parenting differences, marrying too young, opposing values or morals, substance abuse, domestic violence, and last but not least, pursuing different lifestyles. So ladies, you may want to do woosah or earmuffs if you don't want to watch it or skip the video because you're going to get pissed off. I'm going to read you a letter. Okay, this is an article from Glamour. It's an open letter. And the title of this article says, An Open Letter from an Alpha Woman Unable to Love. Okay. So you read this article. This is written by a lady named Suzanne Venker, who wrote a book called The Alpha Female's Guide to Men and Marriage, is what she talks about. So the writer of this article, Elizabeth Logan, wrote this 7 years ago. I'll read you the second paragraph. She says, Venker's thesis is that marriages don't work when one partner, namely the woman, is demanding, unyielding, and unable to be pleased by anything the other partner does. And sure, don't be an asshole to your spouse. Might seem like a basic tenet of marriage, but Venker explains this is actually a big problem with our current generation that needs to be addressed right now. Why? Because women, having been groomed to be leaders rather than to be wives, those leadership qualities like being bossy, demanding, which will definitely help you to get ahead in the office, are apparently antithetical to the three things that Venker says makes a good marriage: respect, compromise, and sex. But of course, you might be thinking, wait, it's totally possible for a woman to be both a leader and a wife, but please trust Ms. Venker when she says it's absolutely not. This attitude of leadership may get women ahead at work, says Venker, but when it comes to love, it will land them in a ditch. Don't ask.
Hey. I'm just gonna say, like, this is straight facts. Straight facts. And I know, ladies, it's not y'all popular opinion, but just look at your own life or look at the data for yourself. Like, ask yourself in your marriage or in your relationships, whatever the case may be, if you're actually seeing growth and progression within your marriage. When these type of attributes, these type of characteristic traits are being presented to your husband. If you're bossy, demanding, if you're, doing all that it takes to be successful in the business world and you're bringing it into your marriage, ask yourself if that is actually the best thing for you. I honestly don't think that it's actually what you guys want, right? Like, there's usually a reason as to why most women want their man to make, for instance, more than them, right? They want them to be higher than they are, right? Because naturally, I do believe that a woman is like, her actual instinct is to be submissive, is to be under the leadership, is to be under the authority of her husband, not for her husband to dominate her in a way where he's abusive to her, right? But women need guidance, women need leadership. And I will also say men need leadership, but we need it in a different way from how women need leadership. Let's continue in the video.
Ask what the hell attitude of leadership is supposed to mean. Just go with her on this one. Work skills are the opposite of love skills, okay? The more you work, the less you love. Got it? Why did I think it was a good idea to bring a cover letter and resume on a date? Why do I pester every boyfriend with weekly timesheets and ask to be reimbursed for all expenses incurred on the job? All right, because I'm a workaholic monster. Now watch this. She continues, okay? Venker says every relationship requires a masculine and a feminine energy to thrive. If women want to find peace with men, they must find their feminine. That is where their real power lies. Being feminine isn't about being beautiful or svelte, or even about wearing high heels, although those things are nice. Being feminine is a state of mind. It's an attitude. She continues, in essence, being feminine means being nice, writes Venker. Niceness by women is the key to the healthy relationships that women are solely in charge of maintaining. In case you're not fully convinced of the wisdom of the radical be nice doctrine, Venker has sources. She quotes quite seriously a man named Chuck who once commented on her website, a strong woman is awesome, but she must be inviting and be able to mesh into an actual relationship. Needing to dominate and overpower, that is a no-go. Venker also quotes Jackie Kennedy. There are two kinds of women, those who want power in the world and those who want power in bed. So look, if you want to read the rest of the open letter, you can find it and go through it. But when you talk about egalitarian, husband and wife make about the same.
It's very interesting. I'm going to keep going, but I just want to say this. Like, as I'm watching this video, it really actually, I think women, you all are super intelligent. And when it comes to your intelligence in this area, I think if we just pay attention to the aspect of what you naturally respond to as far as when your man is leading versus when he's not leading and you're trying to dominate, really just take the time to see your response. Whenever you're dominating or being bossy or trying to lead your husband and be this boss, whatever, independent. I have my own autonomy, whatever it is that you're maybe presenting to your husband or to your man. You yourself don't even respect him. When you're actually demanding something from him or being bossy towards him or trying to lead him or whatever it is that you do at work or in your business field, and you thinking that you can do that in the household, you don't even look at him the same. You don't respect him the same. You don't look at him for leadership because you think that you're above him, right? And it causes you to look at your husband as if, oh my God, like, I don't even want to be with him, right? This is most women, not all women, okay? Most women feel this way because most women understand, and they have the, I believe it's all women, but I say most women because you do have those onesies and twosies that they're just different breeds, right? But we're talking about the majority here. The majority of women want to be led. Majority of women want to be guided. Majority of women want to submit, and it is your duty to submit. I cannot stand when I hear the statement, I want to submit, but he doesn't this. If he doesn't that, bro, what? What are you talking about? It would be a crazy world if men would say, oh my gosh, I want to lead, but like what? I want to pay the bills. I want to make sure there's food in the fridge. I want to make sure that the utilities are all on and working, but my wife won't let me. What? You sound like an idiot if you're a man. You sound ridiculous. If we ever uttered words like that, we sound ridiculous. So ladies, I'm asking y'all to just really pay attention. Like, nobody can make you do anything. It is completely in your control to submit. Just like it is completely in our control as men to lead, right? But we cannot force our leadership on you, right? 9 times out of 10, a man is going to do what a man is supposed to do. Society holds men accountable to the highest echelon. Like, no matter what, for the most part, obviously not every man, but for the most part, men are held accountable for their actions. Like, literally held accountable for their actions. For, like, I could mention something simple. Child support. Child support was made like strictly for men. That was not made for women. Now, because women are making more in the marketplace, it could apply to them if the man makes less than the woman, right? So now y'all about to, let me not say that because I don't wish that on anybody, but because child support that's a whole different topic. But guys, like, y'all really gotta take accountability. You cannot sit there and blame a man for the reason as to why you won't submit. That is completely a you thing. That is not a him thing. And if he is not the man that can lead you, then I'm not telling you to leave him. I'm not telling you to not be with him if he's your husband, because that's a whole different ballgame. But if you are not married, sis, stop. Like, you're playing yourself. If you are married, it's going to take a little bit more fine tuning. You guys need to connect on a different level. You may need some counseling together, whatever the case may be. But this is, and I will say this because this is not off of my own assumptions or things that I come to terms as far as, oh, Alex just knows this. No, it's literally what's in the Bible. The Bible says specifically that wives, you ought to submit yourself to your husbands, even if they stray away from the faith, right? I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact words, but I'll put it on screen when I find it. I'll put it on screen for y'all to look at. But basically, the way you are devoted in submitting yourself to your husband is a way or an entryway for him to be convicted by the Holy Spirit, right? So now, not everybody believes. I'm a believer. So I'm speaking specifically off of how God created marriage to be, right? So the fact that you are so devoted in being submissive to him, not to be a slave, but to actually serve your God because he instructed you to do so, that is when God will deal with your husband in a different way. Now, your husband still has to choose because everybody has free will. But at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to submit, just like it's his responsibility to lead. Let's continue.
Amount of money, 40 to 60% of the income, or wife's the breadwinner. If the wife's the breadwinner, you guys choose to have kids. Here's an article from Fortune. Most married women still carrying a heavier burden at home. So paid work, husbands more than wife. Leisure, husbands more than wife. Caregiving, look at wives, more than husbands. Housework, more than husbands. So what happens if you're like, hey, I went to school, I'm going to beat my husband, I'm going to make more money than him, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. All right. And you're like, well, my kids are still expecting me to be a mother. And a mother has a burden. They don't want to be an average mother. They want to be a good mother. They want to deliver. Great. And you still are expected to be a wife. It's a lot of work. And you still are expected to be a sister. It's a lot of work. Sisters like to be good sisters, right? You still are expected to be a good daughter. Girls want to be good for their mom and dad as well. It's a different kind of a burden a girl has than a son has, right? And then you have your own things you want to do. Taking care of your health, taking care of yourself. So imagine you're like, I've bought into this concept of beating men. I'm same as you. Equality, feminism. Yes, I can kick your ass and I'm making more money than my brother, than my husband, than my cousin. I'm freaking burned out. I don't want this, but I don't respect the man I marry because now officially I'm the husband, she's a wife. I don't want to be married to a wife. I want to be married to a husband. You indirectly have taken that away from him. Now somebody said, well, this is on the men. Yes, I don't disagree. This is why I recommend men reading the book No More Mr. Nice Guy. It's a tough book, by the way, when you read it. You're going to be challenged a lot, right? But somebody listen and say, yeah, I don't know, man. I kind of want my husband to be the husband. And normally that transition of going like this, it's so big because he's been like that to you, gradually going like this. And now you want me to change overnight? Oof, tough to do. Right? And that's exactly what happened at this event. Another lady got up and says, I'm on my second marriage. First marriage was 10 years. Second marriage was 10 years as well. It's probably not going to be working out. It's like, why? Maybe if that's what you're solving for, just money, totally get it. But if it's more than that, it's tough to do. Watch this article here. A couple things on marriage.com. Why this doesn't work out. Wives playing the mother. The wife starts treating her husband like a child. So if the boss babe is making all this money, look at your husband as your son. And you look at your husband and say, you don't respect your son. You didn't marry a man to be your son. You married a man to be your man. You don't look at him like that anymore. It's your son. Hey, clean up. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I want you. You talk to your husband.
I promise y'all, I did not watch this video beforehand. And he literally just said something that I said earlier. When you put yourself in that position of, I'm a boss, I'm a leader, like all that stuff, I'm a strong, woman, it's like you're doing it indirectly, but also directly because some of y'all are stating, I am this person. So, but it's really indirect. Like, maybe you don't mean to demean him. I don't think, I don't know. I wouldn't say that women wake up with the intention of, I want to control this man. Maybe some do, but I don't think that's necessarily. I just think that happens naturally because you think that, hey, because I'm making more or because I'm more financially stable, I guess, than him, that I can almost treat him like my son. But the number one thing that bothers me with that is you guys are together. There's no more your income and my income. It's our income. Right? Like, as a man, I always tell my wife, I don't need a lot of money to survive. Like, if it's just me, bro, oh Lord have mercy. And I've done this for years. Like, I can live off of $500, maybe nowadays like $1,000. But if I have $500 to $1,000 for me, I'm good. Obviously after bills, things like that. But I'm saying, after the bills, things like that, most of my money I would put back into investments, asset building, and all that, which is what we do now. But I don't need a lot of money to, first of all, if you understand economics, the more money you keep, the more you're actually becoming poor, and you're losing purchasing power, and you're losing the ability to be effective within the market. That's another topic for another day, but just wanted to say that. Let's go.
I want you talk to your husband like that. You don't respect your husband if you talk like that, right? Compare him to other men. You know what other men do? You know, the emotional manipulation, you know, the aggression, all these other things that's going on, you know, other interests, you know, fighting, comparison, neglecting, and then, you know, you don't do as much as I do. Do you understand what I do for this man? Do you know what I'm saying? Finally, the man's like, dude, listen, man, I can't do this anymore. That's what's going on today. And unfortunately, many women bought into this feminist movement, and there is no, I want to get a refund. Many lost 10 years. Some lost 20 years. Some lost 30 years. Some are in their 60s, not married, no kids, but they're a boss babe. Was that the right choice? If it's what you wanted, all in. But if you're watching this and you're kind of like, man, I do not want that part. Well, you may want to consider changing your strategy before it backfires on you. In most cases like this, the husband is so burned out and the wife is so done that they're like, dude, I don't even know if we can go through this or not. But if you believe in God, you go to church, you have a community you're a part of, and it's a true decision that you guys want to make collectively together, and you want to find a way to make it work with your kids, with a lot of effort and focus on it, it could work. But it will be very hard, and it will be a lot of work. But for some of you that are maybe single, not married yet, you can always, they say wisdom is when you can borrow from other people's experiences to learn from them. This is an opportunity to be wise, not just smart. Again, ladies, before you come and slash my tires, how dare you make a video like this and make my husband and I argue? Fellas, I'm also talking to you. Why did you let this happen to you? Huh? Who told you this was the right thing to do? Did the mob screaming off the top of their lungs convince you and close you that you need to be this feminine husband? Is that what they did to you? Well, listen, you're also part of the problem. I'm not sitting here going after women. It's 50-50. Both of you bought into this nonsensical type of idea. And now you...
Absolutely correct. Absolutely. That is 100% correct. Because it's not just on the women. And women, before y'all do y'all, because I know y'all be doing that. Yes, I will say that a lot of it also has to do with men not stepping up, not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and not standing firm where they need to stand firm. This is very interesting. I'm gonna let it play out, and we're gonna talk, but I'm gonna let it play out.
Realizing it's not an idea I wanted to buy into. Okay, so. If you got value and you agree with this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Which I don't think it's going to be many of you. But if you're like, screw you, Pat, comment below. I'm going to read all your...
All right, he's pretty much done. Just like, share, comment, subscribe. But, hey, I hope y'all found value in this video, man. I sure as heck did. And this is something that I definitely stand firm on. I think we both, as men and women, and let me say specifically as husbands and wives, we need to do better. Like, if your marriage is not moving in the way that God intended for it to move, even though you might be, I don't know, building wells in Africa, you might be doing some of the greatest stuff in the world, and it's really not going to be fruitful as God wants it to be for you and through you. So I'm really interested in hearing y'all thoughts though, man. Make sure y'all comment down below, like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you're new to the channel. That way you'll be notified every time that I drop a video. I apologize again, I'm not feeling the best today, but definitely wanted to drop a video for you guys. Y'all see the hat. Go ahead, do yourself a favor, read that, subscribe to that, love that, and embrace that. In Jesus' name, peace.